Welcome to the Tech Life Well podcast with Theo Hale and Arya Wells. Thanks for joining us. So, imagine standing on a factory floor back in, let's say, 1815.
Okay, picturing it.
Right, and you're watching this massive mechanical loom do the work of, 50 textile workers. You could literally point at the wood and the iron and say, there went my job.
Right, because it was physical. It was a very visible, undeniable substitution of human effort.
Exactly. But today, the machines are coming for the repetition in our minds. And the displacement it's entirely invisible. We are staring at a massive economic and social transition where the lines are just completely blurred.
Oh, absolutely blurred.
So the central question we really have to answer today is this. Are we witnessing the mass replacement of jobs? Or, are we looking at a massive labor market upgrade? Because AI technology and innovation are fundamentally reshaping the workplace. But experts are intensely divided on whether this will create an unprecedented economic boom or
just simply deepen existing inequality. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It really is the defining economic question of our time, I think.
And we aren't just guessing here today. Our exchange is grounded in a phenomenal body of recent data.
A mountain of it, really.
Yeah, a mountain. We're drawing from comprehensive reports by the OECD, the World Economic Forum, the ILO, the IMF, and also some incredibly detailed proprietary indexes from Anthropic and LinkedIn. Right, because this transition, it impacts far more than just global macroeconomic indicators. It touches our daily lives, it affects our mental health, our overall wellness at work, and just the reality of how we interact with technology on a day-to-day basis.
It's everywhere.
It is. But, we both look at this exact same mountain of data, and we walk away with very different conclusions.
We really do.
My position is that AI is primarily an engine for human augmentation, innovation, and productivity. I look at the evidence, and I see a technology that is creating entirely new workflows. It's amplifying human potential rather than just, destroying old occupations.
Well, I come at it from a different way. While I acknowledge the macro-level productivity gains because they are there, I argue that AI's unique capacity to compress routine and cognitive tasks is going to cause a painful, highly uneven displacement.
Uneven is the key word there, I suppose.
Very uneven. It's a transition that disproportionately impacts specific demographics, and it really threatens to widen the inequality gap in ways we are, quite frankly, entirely unprepared for.
Right. Well, I see why you think that, but let me give you a different perspective on what the data actually tells us about human potential here. When you look at the LinkedIn economic analysis, they estimate that generative AI could unlock up to $6.6 trillion in productive capacity.
6.6 trillion?
Yeah, trillion with a T. Across major economies like the US, the UK, Germany, France, India. That is not a story of subtraction. That is a story of massive addition.
Sure, on a macro scale.
But even on a micro scale, look at how it's actually being used right now. The Anthropic Economic Index, they analyzed thousands of real-world use cases of their Claude model. And they found that 57% of AI use right now is augmentative.
Okay, but
It is collaborating with humans. It's validating a financial model. It's helping a marketer iterate on a campaign strategy, or teaching a junior developer how to structure a new database. Only 43% of the use cases were pure automation. So the prevailing mechanism here is collaboration, not replacement.
well, yeah, that 6.6 trillion is a very comfortable number when you're just staring at a spreadsheet in a boardroom. But macro-level benefits consistently obscure micro-level pain.
I wouldn't say they obscured entirely.
Themselves. The picture is fraught with anxiety.
Well, anxiety is a natural reaction to change.
It's more than just general change anxiety. The OECD and the International Labor Organization estimate that occupations at the highest risk of automation account for about 27% of total employment.
Right, about a quarter.
Over a quarter of the global workforce sitting in highly exposed roles. And, you mentioned wellness earlier. This is where the psychological toll of this technology becomes just glaringly apparent.
The workplace stress aspect.
Exactly. The OECD AI surveys found that while 4 out of 5 workers feel AI improves their performance, 3 out of 5 are genuinely terrified of losing their jobs to AI in the next 10 years.
Which is a huge paradox.
Right. And that fear translates to increased work intensity, chronic stress, and a severe degradation of workplace wellness. We cannot ignore the localized destruction by focusing only on the aggregate creation.
Okay, that tension between performance improvement and job anxiety is fascinating, I'll admit, because it forces us to dissect the mechanical nature of work itself. I think the public conversation often gets derailed because people talk about AI destroying quote-unquote jobs.
Which it does.
But AI doesn't target a job title, it targets a task list.
Okay, yes. The unit of disruption is the task, not the occupation. And this is exactly where the concept of task compression becomes critical.
Right.
Let's look at the IMF and Anthropic data on what they call low complementarity jobs.
Meaning how well the human and the machine work together.
Exactly. Economists use this term, complementarity, to describe how well a human skill pairs with a machine's efficiency. High complementarity means the machine acts like an Iron Man suit. It makes you vastly better at what you already do.
You're still the one flying the suit.
Right. But low complementarity means the machine doesn't really need you at all. These are roles like telemarketers, data entry keyers, basic clerical workers.
Sure.
The tasks that make up these jobs, reading a standardized form, extracting numbers, routing a support ticket, they are highly routine, rules-based, and text-heavy. Generative AI eats routine tasks for breakfast.
But let's be honest, those roles have always been susceptible to automation. This isn't entirely new.
True. But previously we automated physical routine, assembly lines. Now we are automating cognitive routine. And importantly, these roles lack the societal shielding that protects other high-exposure jobs.
Societal shielding, like what?
Take a judge or a surgeon.
Okay.
A judge processes massive amounts of text and applies rules to facts. That is a task a large language model can theoretically do in seconds.
Right, but we'd never accept a robot judge.
Exactly. Society demands a human be accountable for a legal ruling or a medical diagnosis. A data entry clerk has no such shield. Their tasks are exposed, and society is perfectly fine with a machine doing them.
That's a fair point.
Because of this, we are seeing real measurable compression. The IMF data shows tentative evidence that hiring for young workers, those aged 22 to 25, in these highly exposed occupations has already observably slowed down. The pipeline is constricting.
Okay, I see the construction, but I look at that same data and see an evolution of responsibility. Let me offer an analogy to clarify the mechanism here because I think we're missing the historical context.
All right, let's hear the analogy.
Think about the historical introduction of the automated teller machine in the banking sector.
The ATM?
Right. When the ATM was rolled out in the 1970s, the panic was absolute. Everyone assumed bank tellers would be wiped out because dispensing cash, which is a highly routine, low complementarity task, was completely automated by a box in the wall.
Well, because dispensing cash and updating paper ledgers was essentially the entirety of the teller's task list back then.
Right, but what actually happened on the ground? Automating the cash dispensing significantly lowered the operating costs for a bank branch, and because branches became cheaper to run, banks opened far more of them.
They expanded.
They expanded massively. And the tellers didn't disappear. Their roles evolved. They stopped counting $20 bills and physically stamping passbooks, and they moved from behind the counter into a glass office.
They became relationship managers.
Exactly. They started dealing with complex customer needs, credit cards, mortgages, small business loans. The technology removed the repetition, but it didn't remove the responsibility.
Okay, but
AI does the exact same thing for cognitive work. It takes the routine digital dispensing of information, pulling the weekly analytics report, drafting the template email, generating basic boiler code, and it frees the human to do the relational synthesis, the strategic thinking.
I hear the ATM analogy, and it's a classic economic defensive technology, I'll give you that.
Because it holds up.
But I find it fundamentally flawed for this specific transition, because the scope of generative AI is entirely different.
How so?
An ATM only dispenses cash. An LLM can write marketing copy, analyze massive data sets, generate Python code, translate legal documents, manage complex schedules. I mean, the list goes on.
It's versatile, sure.
The sheer breadth of the cognitive tasks it can automate means that evolving the worker into a higher value task is substantially harder because the AI is already waiting for them at that next tier of value.
I wouldn't say it's waiting for them at the strategy tier.
It's getting there fast. And that friction brings us to the most concerning part of this transition, which is who exactly is bearing the brunt of this task compression?
Ah, so you are focusing on the demographic vulnerabilities now.
Yes. I mean, the data from LinkedIn and the IMF reveals an uneven and frankly unequal impact. Historically, technological shifts like automotive robotics or assembly line mechanization, they primarily hit manual labor.
Which was predominantly male and blue collar.
Exactly. Generative AI flips that script entirely. It targets cognitive, desk-based work. As a result, women who are statistically overrepresented in clerical, administrative, and basic support roles are highly exposed.
That is definitely a concern in the data.
Furthermore, we are seeing a really counterintuitive reality. Workers with undergraduate degrees are among the most heavily impacted.
Yeah, it is a profound shift. We are looking at white-collar, college-educated vulnerability on a scale we just haven't seen before.
Right, because for decades, the societal promise was that a bachelor's degree insulated you from automation.
You go to college so you don't have to work on the factory floor, where the robots are.
Precisely. But look at what entry-level knowledge work actually is. The exact jobs given to recent college graduates involved reading long documents, synthesizing text, drafting preliminary reports, doing basic data analysis.
Which are the precise tasks LLMs replicate instantly.
Yes, I call this the apprenticeship paradox. AI is brilliant at doing the exact foundational grunt work that humans historically needed to do in order to become experts.
Right, the cutting your teeth phase.
Exactly. If a law firm uses Claude to do early case discovery and draft basic legal briefs, they simply do not need to hire as many junior associates. So where do those 24-year-old law school graduates go to get the thousands of hours of experience required to become senior partners?
That's the million-dollar question.
We are hollowing out the entry-level stepping stones.
I have to say that is undeniably the strongest argument against my position. And I acknowledge the vulnerability there. The disruption to the traditional white-collar apprenticeship model is very real.
It's already happening.
It is, however, the data also highlights a powerful counter-trend that I think you're missing. College-educated workers historically demonstrate the highest mobility in the labor market. They are the most capable of transitioning into those high complementarity roles we talked about earlier.
Capable, maybe, but the jobs have to be there.
They are there. Rather than seeing this as the destruction of the entry-level job, I see it as the acceleration of the junior employee. Think of AI as power steering for the entry-level worker.
Power steering?
Yeah.
Explain the mechanics of that.
Well, before power steering, driving a heavy truck required immense physical strength just to turn the wheel. The physical friction was a barrier to entry.
Okay.
AI removes the cognitive friction of basic data crunching and template generation. Yes, it eliminates the need for a junior analyst to spend 40 hours a week manually extracting financial data from hundreds of PDFs.
Which is a good thing for their sanity, I admit.
Right. But by removing that friction, it allows a 23-year-old worker to navigate complex, strategic terrain much earlier in their career. With an AI agent handling the routine coding or the data synthesis, that junior employee can act as a manager of AI outputs.
A manager of outputs at 23?
Yes, they are elevated to scoping the actual business problem, exercising domain judgment and driving strategy. It bridges the experience gap rather than widening it.
You know, the optimism of the power steering metaphor is appealing, but cognitive offloading isn't the same as physical offloading.
Why not? They both reduce friction.
Because power steering makes it physically easier to turn the wheel, but the driver still has to know the rules of the road and how the vehicle dynamically responds. A better metaphor is the introduction of the graphing calculator in advanced calculus.
Okay, let's go with the calculator.
A graphing calculator is an incredible tool that frees a mathematician from tedious manual arithmetic so they can focus on, complex planetary trajectories. But if you don't understand the underlying mathematics, the calculator won't save you from plugging in a flawed formula and crashing the rocket.
Well, of course you need foundational knowledge.
But how do you get it? You learn brilliant writing by drafting bad writing and agonizing over the edits. You learn robust coding by debugging broken foundational code. If AI does all the foundational grunt work, How does the junior worker ever develop the expert judgment required to supervise the AI's outputs?
They learn by managing the AI's mistakes.
I disagree. Elevating a 23-year-old to a strategic management role requires a specific set of critical thinking skills that the vast majority of the incoming workforce simply does not possess right now.
Well, but even if we accept your framing of the apprenticeship paradox, who is teaching these young professionals how to survive? I mean, elevating a junior worker to a strategy role requires skills they don't have, so how do they actually adapt?
That is the problem.
Inevitable, which we both do. The vital question is adaptation. What is the actual toolkit for the future?
The reality of that toolkit is quite grim at the moment, honestly. The World Economic Forum and LinkedIn data show that the demand for AI skills is skyrocketing, but the supply is deeply constrained.
The talent pool is small.
It's tiny. The pool of AI engineering talent, the people actually building and training these foundational systems, is less than 1% of the global workforce.
Wow, less than 1%.
That means the vast majority of workers are unequipped for this transition, and we cannot rely on employers to fix it. Employer-offered training is severely fragmented right now.
It is pretty inconsistent.
While businesses say they desperately want an AI-literate workforce, over half of executives admit they struggle to find the time or financial resources to provide that upskilling. The burden is falling entirely on the individual worker, which again widens the inequality gap.
The transition is messy, I won't deny that at all. But the pathway to adaptation is actually highly structured if you look closely. The LinkedIn report provides a very clear, evidence-based blueprint for the practical skills workers must learn to remain competitive.
Okay, let's hear the blueprint.
It breaks down into 3 distinct tiers. And we really have to demystify what learning AI actually means, because a major source of the anxiety you mentioned earlier comes from the false belief that everyone needs to become a computer scientist.
Well, the first tier is exactly what I just mentioned, the AI technical skills.
Right.
This is for the builders, machine learning, neural network architecture, natural language processing. These are the highly specialized engineers creating the models.
Right, and as you pointed out, that is less than 1% of the workforce. Not everyone needs those skills, just like, not everyone needs to know how to solder a motherboard to use a laptop.
Thank goodness for that.
Exactly. The danger is when policymakers lazily tell displaced clerical workers to, quote, learn to code machine learning algorithms. It's a completely unrealistic pivot.
Completely. So what is the realistic pivot for the other 99% of the workforce?
That is the second tier. AI literacy skills. This is the practical application layer.
So prompt engineering?
Prompt engineering is a big part of it. Yes. Mastering prompt engineering, understanding the specific limitations of various models, and effectively integrating tools like ChatGPT, Claude, or Microsoft Copilot into a daily workflow.
Using the tools, basically.
Yes, but intelligently. It's knowing how to delegate a repetitive data extraction task to the AI, and more importantly, it is knowing how to verify the AI's output for what developers call hallucinations.
Oh, right, when the AI just makes things up.
Exactly. It's when the AI doesn't actually know the answer, so it confidently invents a completely false one. It is treating AI as a highly capable, but highly fallible intern.
I would expand that literacy tier beyond just checking for made-up facts, though.
What would you add?
True AI literacy means understanding the systemic risks of the tool. It's understanding that if you feed an AI highly sensitive client financial data to generate a summary, you might be training the public model on proprietary information.
Ah, the data privacy aspect. Yes.
AI literacy isn't just knowing how to type a clever prompt. It's understanding the logical blind spots of the system so you don't inadvertently expose your company to a massive liability.
That is a crucial distinction. I agree. But it's the third tier of this blueprint that I think is the most fascinating, and perhaps where we might actually find some convergence today.
Okay, I'm listening.
The third vital skill set identified by LinkedIn isn't technical at all. It is people and complementary skills.
The uniquely human traits?
Exactly that. Because AI is compressing the routine cognitive work, the premium in the labor market is shifting drastically toward the skills AI absolutely cannot replicate.
Like empathy.
Empathy, conflict mitigation, complex stakeholder management, cross-functional communication, and highly nuanced critical thinking. The WF data shows that while tech skills are growing, these human-centric skills are dominating the fastest growing required competencies.
because the machines can't do them.
Right. Businesses aren't just hiring for digital literacy, they are hiring for a mix of AI fluency and human ingenuity. If the AI can draft the perfect, mathematically optimized project proposal in 10 seconds, the human value lies entirely in the ability to read the room during the pitch, navigate the delicate office politics, and build genuine trust with the client.
I will concede that we converge on that point. The ultimate buffer against automation is our humanity.
It really is.
An algorithmic model can optimize a global supply chain perfectly on paper, but it cannot negotiate a delicate compromise between two furious department heads who have conflicting budgets.
Exactly. It can't read emotions.
However, my enduring concern remains the timeline. Developing high-level stakeholder management, empathy, and critical thinking, that takes years of messy social and professional experience.
It's not an overnight thing.
No, you can't just send a displaced data entry clerk to a 2-week corporate boot camp on empathy and leadership and expect them to suddenly command a premium wage as a relationship manager.
Well, a boot camp isn't going to cut it, no.
So while human skills are the buffer, the bridge to get vulnerable workers to that safe harbor is currently broken. It requires robust social safety nets and massive, coordinated public-private investments in reskilling that we simply do not have in place yet.
I think that is a very fair critique. The destination, a labor market where humans do the relational, strategic work and machines do the repetitive, foundational work, is bright. But the journey there requires intentional navigation.
Very intentional.
So, to summarize my position in light of our discussion today, I look at the data and see a profound era of human augmentation. By compressing routine tasks, AI is freeing us to focus on innovation, strategy, and the uniquely human elements of work. If we focus on expanding AI literacy alongside our complementary interpersonal skills, this technology acts as an incredible engine for human potential, creating vast new economic opportunities.
And to summarize my view, the macroeconomic promise of AI cannot blind us to the microeconomic pain it is already causing. The displacement is real, and it is targeting demographics like college-educated youth and women in clerical roles who were previously shielded from technological disruption. Unless we implement targeted, rigorous reskilling programs and acknowledge the very real limitations and anxieties of the workforce, we risk replacing stepping stone jobs with an unbridgeable chasm of inequality.
It is a complex landscape, and our listeners will have to weigh the evidence for themselves. We suggest that you look at this transition through both lenses. Take a moment to look at your own daily task list, explore the source material we discussed today to decide which of your routine tasks can be delegated to an AI, and more importantly, which uniquely human skills you need to cultivate to remain irreplaceable.
Ultimately, whether the machine acts as a tool that amplifies your work or a force that diminishes it may depend heavily on the actions you take to adapt right now.
We started today by talking about the mechanical looms of the Industrial Revolution, a highly visible replacement of human muscle. Today, the machines are coming for the repetition in our minds, and the transition is entirely invisible, hidden behind a glowing screen. How we adapt to that invisible shift will define the next century of work. We appreciate you listening. Follow the Tech Life Well podcast for future episodes and updates.